For many years, CGI has been looked down upon when it came to the anime industry, and justifiably so, because producers hand us shit like this and expect us to go, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So much so that it's even become a cop-out, as creating a render of a character and making it move around is much easier than hand-drawing the same characters over and over. And that's led to this widespread negativity towards CGI. But I think they're finally figuring out how CGI can be properly incorporated into anime without the characters being left robotic and emotionless. Apart from X-Arm, but, you know, it's X-Arm. Nighthead 2041, an anime from this season which blew me away, and for it being a CGI focused anime, naturally I was expecting X-Arm 2, like I'm guessing everyone else who saw or heard about this anime would have, and probably dismissed it and went on to watch Magia Record Maho Shoujo Magica Magica. I can't escape, it's everywhere. But the fact of the matter is that Nighthead 2041 is probably the best CGI I've seen in anime to date. And where in other anime CGI can feel lazy and distract you from literally everything else going on, Nighthead found a way so that it wasn't really a problem, which surprised me at first, and rather I was admiring the use of CGI, especially in action scenes. But with this stigma of CGI in anime... Wait, I don't even know what stigma means. I think I used it right, I don't know. But with this stigma of CGI in anime just being horrible, Nighthead was given a really low score on Mal, because the non-grass touchers saw CGI, slammed their desk and gave it a 1. Where the story easily deserves an 8 or above, and for it being a remake of a remake, it was done well. And in 12 episodes they managed to pace the story really well and not rush a single thing. And usually I'm one of those guys who sees CGI for a split second in anime and instantly point it out. I mean, in my older videos I even had some segments dedicated to the CGI in the anime. And bitched about it. But I don't think I am anymore. I guess I have a newfound respect for it. That is, if there is more high quality CGI like this in the future. If we keep on getting stuff like X-Arm, I'm probably reverting to an anti-CGI. And I think it's important to note that the CGI obviously isn't perfect. I mean, characters from a distance still look a bit odd, but it's the close-ups and action scenes where the CGI really shines in Nighthead. One day you wake up. 3 months have gone by without anyone knowing a single thing that happened during that time, apart from the fact that roughly 2/3 of the world's population have mysteriously disappeared. What the hell happened? The government, clutching at straws, chalks it up to being World War III, and people latch onto whatever explanation they can get and go on with their lives. Except now the world is a much worse place. Freedom of speech is gone. Everything fictional, including your precious anime and manga, now illegal. And if you even believe in anything that's beyond human, like psychic powers, you are seen as a criminal. I mean, you even sing a song mentioning anything fictional. You can be set on fire by anyone, and that crime will be seen as doing the right thing and won't be punishable. And this is where our main characters come into play. We follow 2 pairs of brothers, the first pair being Naoya and Naoto, who have no memories of the past 15 years and have awakened into this horrible world with the ability of psychic powers. And psychic powers are considered beyond human, and it has been so heavily enforced by the government that such powers do not exist. Incredibly pissed off that these powers have been denied to exist, Naoya and Naoto try to find a way to revert this corrupt society from how it is at the moment to how it was in the past. And that's not really an easy thing to do. But that's not all. Word of their psychic powers reaches the government, and they deploy the SWE to hunt them down and stop them in their tracks. And the SWE are a group of highly elite soldiers who enforce these new rules through any means possible. And they are kitted out with some cool futuristic armor with red visors and all other sci-fi gadgets. Then they just have some regular guns, but everything else is cool and futuristic. And the SWE leads to our other pair of brothers, Takuya and Yuya, who are soldiers working for the SWE, and after their first proper interaction with the other pair, realize just how similar both pairs are, including their childhood, and also the fact that Takuya and Yuya can both use psychic powers as well. And wanting to know the answers as to why this is the case, Takuya and Yuya chase down Naoya and Naoto for a good chunk of the anime. One thing that really kept me hooked is that they never drop the serious tone of the series for some funny anime moments like a lot of shows do to break tension and such. Which is what the Chaos Head anime did, and it was like, oh, I want to sex you now. It's like, okay, but what about the guy who just got a baby shoved inside his stomach? How about that? Let's just focus on that, huh? I think making the environments and every object CGI was a very good choice for the anime, as the models were highly detailed and the way they moved didn't look unnatural. which is something that's commonly an issue when it comes to CGI, It's also pretty funny that you can tell if a character is important or not depending if they're hand-drawn or CGI, because the main characters are always CGI where background characters are mostly hand-drawn, even though it's usually the complete opposite in every other anime. But if I were to look past the fact that it's completely CGI, how does it hold up just as an anime itself? I mean, it's still damn good. I would have probably got around to watching this and enjoyed it just as much, if not less, if it was hand-drawn. CGI just seems like the right choice for this anime, which I don't think I would say about any other series. And it is one of those confusing anime where you have a lot of oh moments when you figure out something, which is a way of storytelling I really enjoy. And there's one scene in the later episodes where the pairs team up, and in the middle of Takeo and Naoto fighting each other, the SWE rocks up to stop the party, so they're like, hey, let's team up real quick. And they do team up, and Naoto blocks the shots from a tank, Takeo jumps up and demolishes the helicopter, then they destroy the armored cars and launch them into the tanks while they dodge bullets from a machine gun. And then they just tag team a tank by uppercutting the shit out of it, and then it flips up, Takeo out of nowhere kicks it in half. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. But how does it compare to the original anime drama TV series? I don't know. I'm not going to watch that. Now, if any of this sounds at all interesting to you and you have an open mind about accepting the CGI, then I would have to say to check it out. But if you haven't touched grass in over a year, then go watch another 60 episode anime that you'll end up giving a 3 out of 10 anyway. And I was joking about X-Arm, that show's obviously a masterpiece. Everything I said in this video is wrong. CGI is not getting better. Tesla Note just came out this season, and take a look at this. I just can't be arsed.